Are you looking to grow revenues, increase profitability, or obtain financing? If so, you came to the right place.
Running a business is all about leadership. How do you become a better leader? Learn from the successful entrepreneurs and business owners how to lead your organization more effectively. That's why we created Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, to help you succeed with your host, Andrew Frazier, Business Growth Pro and CFO and founder of the Small Business Pro University. Every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're joined by experienced entrepreneurs and business owners who share their secrets to success via live stream. Also, every Friday morning, we release a new podcast episode. Either way, you will learn about developing your business leadership skills from our roster of highly performing guest experts. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbprou.com.
Good evening and welcome back to Leadership Live at 8:05. I'm your host, Andrew Frazier, and excited to be back hanging out with you one more time. Hopefully you had a happy Thanksgiving holiday, got a little bit of a break, had some good food, maybe friends and family as well. And we're back. You know, we got the mad dash to the end of the year. Really just have 3 weeks before, everything shuts down. So, you want to finish strong and take advantage of this time and then also use it to prepare for next year. So tonight I'm excited about having a guest and a topic that I think is very timely, especially as you're thinking about and looking at what you may want to do in the coming years. Tonight we're going to talk about how to scale by leveraging systems, automation, and technology. Technology is ever changing and moving forward and can be an amazing tool for running your business more successfully. So definitely, I think there's going to be a lot of great things shared tonight. Hopefully you can take things down and take advantage of it. And then also, if you can, feel free to ask questions, ask whatever you want. That's a good opportunity as well. So hopefully you can, participate. Always appreciate the comments and questions, and, we'll take it from there. So my guest tonight is Khadirah Muhammad, and, that's what she does. She helps businesses and entrepreneurs be able to take advantage of systems, technology, and automation to move their business forward faster and easier. So let me invite her on to the stage. Hey, Khadirah, how are you doing tonight?
I'm amazing, Andrew. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for joining me this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me here. I've been very excited about doing this show. I'm excited to be here with you and your people to talk about this amazing subject. Excellent.
So, definitely we're going to touch on a whole bunch of different stuff. But before we do that, if you could take a few minutes and kind of share a little bit about you and your journey, just to give people background about who they're going to be hearing from tonight.
Absolutely. Well, hello, everybody. Again, my name is Khadirah Muhammad. I'm a marketing, automation, and systems engineer, which is a bunch of words to say that I'm a nerd when it comes to technology and especially automation. I've been an automation engineer and an automation specialist for just under 10 years now. I actually went to school to be a web developer and then fell in love with the marketing side of business. I've been helping entrepreneurs and small business owners in digital marketing before I went ahead and made the switch to help people with their technology. I love all things systems and automation, which basically means I am very good at connecting the details and handling the tech that for a lot of people, it's very intimidating. It seems like there's so many things going on, and I'm the one that they call to kind of put it all together and to specifically help them be able to grow and scale their businesses by leveraging technology the right way for their industry. That also includes using AI and not just regular ChatGPT, but really being able to leverage it for your business. I originally got started in just the world of entrepreneurship when I was 18. I kind of realized I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. And more importantly than that, I'm an only child. And so I really want to be able to take care of my own parents. And I knew entrepreneurship was the way to go. And I fell in love with the marketing side of things. And really just figuring out how can business owners really be able to build their companies without them having to be there 100% of the time. If you don't know, we're probably in the mass exodus of businesses when the owners are reaching more of the retirement ages and they want to retire. They're tired. They've been working in their companies for 20, 30 years, and they want to actually be able to retire. Well, a lot of them are selling their companies, but it's hard to sell a company or even pass down a company if you are the single source of truth in your business and nobody else is able to take up the mantle for you. You don't have any systems in place, AKA 1, 2, 3, 4. How does something actually get done? And the best way to have a system is actually being able to leverage technology, which I'm hoping to talk a lot more about with Andrew.
Excellent. So yeah, we're definitely going to talk a lot about technology and sort of see where things go. So we could almost call this episode Revenge of the Nerds, since you're a self-proclaimed nerd, and in this day and age, technology is critical. So definitely that is a beneficial skill. So you grew up pretty much in it, and sort of seen how things have evolved and sort of where things started, where they are, and probably have a pretty good idea of where things are going to be going, because there's a lot out here, but there's even a lot more coming. So
absolutely,
so definitely that's something to take a look at. So you got a fellow techie and proud.
I love it. I'm not the only one here, though. I'm glad Darren's here with me.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a closet techie. I have a degree in engineering, so I can understand a lot of stuff. But but yeah, definitely, there's so much to learn that nobody can know it all. So,
for sure.
Before we get started, I just want to take a minute. We do our show through the Small Business Pro University, where we have all kinds of resources for entrepreneurs and small business owners. So I'm just going to play a short video, and so you can learn more, and then we'll start talking, on our topic, scaling your business by leveraging systems, automation, and technology. Many small businesses experience low or no revenue growth, and the owners are not making enough money. I founded the Small Business Pro University to help business owners break that cycle by empowering them with greater knowledge and enhanced skills to lead their companies more effectively. Over the past 15 years, I've worked one-on-one with more than 1,000 business owners and taught tens of thousands of people about business. My experience includes serving as a Navy officer, graduating from MIT, earning an MBA from NYU, and achieving the CFA designation. Small Business Pro University empowers entrepreneurs like you to run their businesses more professionally and create sustainable enterprises. Small Business Pro University provides access to valuable resources, partnerships, and relationships that will help you to grow revenue, increase profit, and obtain financing faster and easier. Our Masterpreneur initiatives include more than 100 expert-led multimedia courses and training programs with more than 2,500 lessons. The Small Business Pro Network, our private community for entrepreneurs. Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business, our weekly live stream and podcast. Advanced Learning Institutes focused on revenue generation, profit maximization, and capital acquisition. And the Power Breakfast series, in-person events where business owners learn best practices, enjoy great networking, and gain useful knowledge. If you want to sell more and make more, you need to check out Small Business Pro University. Visit our website at www.sbprou.com. All right, welcome back. Andrew here. I'm here with Khadirah, and we're going to talk about leveraging systems, automation, and technology. So, in this day and age, technology and systems are so important, but there's also so much. So where should people start? What's the first thing we should be thinking about, with taking advantage of these types of things?
That's a great question. Oftentimes, when I'm talking with business owners, I'm consulting with them or I'm working with them more one-on-one. One of the biggest issues that they come up with is not knowing where to begin. There are a lot of different options. There's probably 15 different AI tools that get promoted to you in your email every single day. The next one and the next one say they're the best of the best, and so on and so forth. So where do you really begin in order to start to take advantage of this, especially if you're not a techie? I'm speaking to all my non-techies, all the people that when I said I'm a automation systems person, they're like, whoa, okay, that's great, but that's not me. When it comes to dealing with technology, we don't even want to start there, in my opinion. I have what's called a 4C formula. And our 4C formula is a step-by-step way of being able to start to use technology and automation the way you should in your business for your very specific needs. The very first C in that 4C formula is to clarify. Clarify where you are starting from right now. You don't automate something. You don't automate a process you don't actually have, right? So the automation or the tech that I might recommend for a consultant is not the same tech I'm going to recommend for a plumber, for an HVAC consultant or installer. I'm going to recommend something different based on where they are at right now. So if you're watching this, and hopefully you are, and hopefully you're already subscribed to everything on Andrew's platforms, you need to make sure to kind of sit down and see where are you starting from? What's going on in your business every day? You can ask yourself a series of questions just to get started. The very first thing is understanding at the end of your day, what did you actually get done throughout that day? Who did you interact with? What activities did you get done? What productivity did you do? What tasks did you have for yourself that you actually got done? Not what you wrote down and you said that you were going to get done, but that actually didn't happen. And that's because of a variety of different reasons, right? But what actually got done? You do that for a few days in a row and you get to see what level of productivity is actually happening in your business. And then you'll start to see what task are you completing that you actually don't need to be touching at all, or that's taking up too much of your time. Or 3, there could be tasks that you meant to do or you meant to complete that actually didn't get done. Again, we don't automate a process we're not actually doing, right? I can't help you systemize a process that you're not actually doing because you have a process in your business. We have to clarify where we're starting from, because you can't ask me to drive you across the country and I don't know where you're at, right? I live in Detroit, Michigan. If I want to get from Detroit to California, I can't just type in California. I got to be very specific, right? Are we going to go South California or are we going to go north, right? Are we going to the middle? Are we going to go to the very far of the coast? We need to be specific as to where we're going, and we need to be specific as to where we are. So that first C of clarifying, asking yourself these questions of what you're doing, what you're getting done, what are some tasks that you as the CEO, or maybe you're an operations manager in the business. Either way, what tasks are you performing that you know you should not be touching? Okay, that's the next question you want to ask yourself. If you're the CEO, should you be handling all of the customer service and customer support tickets? Probably not. Probably not. If you're the CEO, should you be managing your own calendar all of the time, booking all of your meetings all of the time, sending out reminders about your meetings or interviews or whatever you're doing all the time? Or should there be something else in place, whether a person or a software? But either way, it needs to be handled by somebody else that isn't you. And then the last question you want to ask yourself is, what are you doing every day that you could just stop doing? Oftentimes, business owners will grab onto a piece of software. You get the shiniest object. We just had Black Friday. So that means you might have grabbed all these deals, 50% off here, 40% off there, 30% off there. And you're getting all this software that ultimately is just going to be another bill for you, another $50, $100, $200. But you're not actually using the software because you probably don't even need to use it for what you thought it should have been used for. Meaning that task you're trying to get the software to do, is there a way you could completely eliminate it? And if you can't eliminate it, and I saw somebody use this word already, then you need to delegate it, right? We need to delegate it again, either to a person or to software. But Andrew, everything starts with that first C, that clarifying that step. Once we get that rolling, now we can start to even introduce technology into your world. That's the most important thing, just to get started with everything.
Okay. All right. So clarity. So just, real quick, what are the other 3 C's now that you have my mind thinking about it?
Yeah, absolutely. The next C is craft. We want to craft your workflow, right? So what do I mean by workflow? This is understanding what is the process that actually needs to be automated or maybe delegated. And the same, I'm going to go back to my map analogy, right? If I'm trying to get from Detroit to California, I'm just not going to start driving. I'm not just going to get on the highway and start driving. I'm going to pull up my GPS, and my GPS is going to give me a map. Your business needs the same thing. Now, we have very core areas in our business. We have customer service. We have actual service delivery. We have onboarding. We have our sales process or our prospecting process as well. And so each of those kind of areas have their own little processes in them. And we need to map those out visually, preferably, so we understand how this actually happens. So I'll use a sales conversion process, for example. Let's say you're a professional service provider. Maybe you're a consultant yourself. If you're a consultant, more than likely, you're selling your services over the phone. That means somebody has to book an appointment with you. They get on the Zoom or they're doing a phone call with you. And that's how you're able to present your service to them and be able to sell them on the call. Can we map that part out? You get what I mean, Andrew?
Okay. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So, I actually use a similar process. Of course you call it different things, but,
for sure.
The first step is assessment, and then envisioning, figure out where you are, figure out where you want to go. And then you do your analysis to figure out what's the best way to get there. And then you have 3 recommendations, 3 things to start with, because you can't do everything. And then finally implement and track. And that's an iterative process, because you have to continually do that if you're going to move your business forward and grow. So we got we got the first 2. What's number 3?
Number 3 is actually creating the automation. So that's actually where you put stuff together. This is where we know, okay, this is the software we're going to use. Because now that we have the map and we know where we're starting from, now you can start to really answer the question of what software do I need to get there? And so I can recommend software all throughout the day. But I would tell you most of what pretty much every small business owner needs in terms of software. Number one thing is you need is a CRM. That's a customer relationship management system. Especially if you are a service-based business owner, you need a CRM. You need a single source of truth that says, these are my clients, these are my prospects, these are my leads, this is how we're following up with them, this is where everybody is at in the process. A CRM becomes the foundation for your business, similar to the foundation of a house. Okay, similar to the foundation of a house. If you don't have a CRM, you're almost just not really in business because you're not keeping track. And when I say keep track, how many times are you going to receive a referral via email, or somebody texted to you, or you got a business card when you were at your local networking or organization throughout the week, and you lose it? You lose the business card, you lose the sticky note where you wrote everything down. You have a million emails coming in, so you forget where those people are at. You need a foundation to your business that holds everything in one place for not only you, but for your team members. And even if it's just one person right now, and it's just you, or maybe you have a VA, you need to have something else that is in your own mind, that as you grow your business, new team members, new staff, new employees, new contractors have a place to go to see where all of our clients are at, all of our leads, and where everybody is at in the process. So 100%, you need a CRM no matter what type of business you are, especially though if you're a service-based business owner. Another piece of software I would definitely recommend usually comes with the CRM, but it's an email sending tool. That could be your MailChimps, that can be your ConvertKits. There's a lot of different email providers, but you need a way to be able to contact your leads, contact your clients en masse. Using your own Gmail or using your own company's Outlook account is not going to cut it when you have a larger list. And when I say a larger list, I mean 100-person, 1,000-person, tens of thousands of people on your email list. You need a provider that's going to be able to send those out and allow you to automate which emails go out to whom. But the third C, to answer your question, Andrew, is creating the automation. It's the actual process of putting everything together and starting to build out that automation and those systems that can work in your business in whatever area you need them to work in.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So you got the first two things, CRM, email tool. Okay. We're going to want more, but
I know.
but definitely, I'm 100% so far. But I'm sure there's, you're going to go into things that I don't have as well. But yeah, definitely, there's certain things that every business should have, and it's good to make sure people, understand that. Cool. So we got clarify, craft, create, and the last one is similar
to your process, Andrew. The last one is continue. And that means to continue is that iteration part, right? When I say continue, we're continuing to build out the process. We're continuing to optimize the process we just created or the automation we just put together. And we're also continuing to audit what's going on, cleaning up and optimizing what we need at any point in our business. And it's also continuous process in the other areas of your company. We just mentioned sales conversion, but there's a lot of areas to your company, right? Even if you're just one person, there's a lot that you are doing. You're handling customer support. You're handling the sales side. You're handling the prospecting side. You're handling the retention side. You're handling the post-delivery and the actual delivery of your service side. So the continuing process just means we don't stop. Your systems are living things, just like your business is a living, breathing entity that just isn't you. It has its own heart. It's got its own foundation, and you need to be able to continue to grow it. And the system and the process of how you do things today, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Andrew, how you did things in the beginning of your business is not exactly the same to how you're doing it now. So if that happens there, then you know you're going to need to continue to optimize, continue to clarify, continue to craft new workflows, and continue to create new and better automation or new delegation habits and assets that are going to help you in your company.
Excellent. So we got all four: clarify, craft, create, and continue. And it's interesting you say, a lot of times we don't think about how much our business has changed in a short period of time. Like where my business is now from where I started the pandemic, it's amazing.
Night and day, right?
Even just my live stream now versus when I started it. Night and day. Technology's evolved, so it got to the point where I could actually use the video and use AI to edit it and create shorts and other stuff. So and that was like I dreamed of that.
Yeah.
I had it, but it's like whatever you could think of, it's probably available or will be available within a short period of time, which is pretty exciting. So now you gave us the first two things. What are the next two things that we need to have?
Perfect. The next two tools I would recommend any business owner have is an SMS sending tool. So I mentioned emails. That's kind of our foundation. Most people know to utilize emails in some capacity. I saw somebody, wrote MailChimp is a good tool. It is a great tool if you're just getting started. I have other recommendations when you're getting a bit more sophisticated with your emails. But with SMS is just your texting. And texting is becoming just its own world. The open rates and the click-through rates and the ability for people to click on your links in text, it's just so far past email, it's not even close. And so any business owner, especially if you're, even if you're not a service-based business owner and maybe you're working more B2C and you're working with more individual customers and consumers, having a texting tool is going to help you out. There are many CRMs that have that already integrated inside of the platform, but you definitely want to have an SMS type of tool. The fourth tool I'm going to recommend is more of a integration tool overall. And this is something like a Zapier or a Zapier, pronounce it how you want. You're going to need a tool kind of like Zapier that allows you to connect other tools together that don't natively talk to each other. Okay. So maybe you have a CRM, but you have a different email sending tool where you're going to need these two different softwares to talk to each other, but they don't do that naturally. They don't do that natively. So you need something in between, and that's going to be a Zapier. Zapier is I call it the glue of the internet because it allows things to form together. There's other alternatives, but I would definitely recommend Zapier. It's going to be your next best friend. Somebody put, I prefer SMS. It's more convenient. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, on the Zapier thing, there's a trend right now towards platforms working to be all inclusive, so you don't really need a Zapier.
For sure.
What are your thoughts on that? And is it better to do separate? Is it better to look for all in one? What should people think about when they're trying to obtain these things?
That's a very timely and great question. I say that because I actually have a client right now that we are migrating about 5 or 6 different tools into one all-in-one CRM that's called Go High Level. And that CRM, replaces emails, SMS sending, social media, post scheduling, sales pipelines, a bunch of stuff. It's a lot of things. I can't even name everything, but it's an all-in-one platform. I love an all-in-one platform. I don't use an all-in-one platform for literally everything in my business. And the reason for that, and software have an incentive to get you to stay on the platform. So they want you to stay in. They don't want you to have to buy anything else. The longer they can keep you using the platform every day, more likely the longer you're going to stay, the more money they're going to make. So they're incentivized to do that. However, the drawback from an all-in-one is from the standpoint of security, because if that process and that software ever goes down even a little bit, that means multiple areas of your business is down. So I like all-in-one for particular things. But there's an example of this client that we're working with now. They want us to migrate their website from Squarespace, which is where it's hosted at now, to this new CRM. And I told her, I said, hey, look, we're going to do what the client says they want to do, but I do not at all recommend you move your website to an all-in-one platform, because it doesn't work for you if in the future that platform goes down. Now your whole website goes down versus just a couple pages. So I would never put all my eggs in one basket. I don't do that personally. And I have a lot of tools that I use that are in an all-in-one platform, but I still don't use everything there, because if that ever goes down, so does every different or a bunch of different parts of my business, and that's not going to work. So for security reasons, I would have certain software kind of just separate. I would eat that cost. And then especially if you're in an industry that has specialized services, or maybe you have specialized industry specific software, you're not going to be able to replace it with an all-in-one anyway. So you likely will still need different software in different places, and it's just the cost of doing business, but it's better off for your business.
Okay, great. And one other thing is, a lot of times most are best at one thing, and they are adequate at some of the other, and maybe not even adequate. So that's another consideration to take into account when you're doing that. But it is nice to have everything in one place also. So it's just, I guess it's sort of personal choice as well. Definitely, you need different tools to run your business, and Go High Level, great platform. What are other platforms sort of like Go High Level that are all inclusive?
Great one is ActiveCampaign and Keep, which used to be called Infusionsoft. Those are two CRMs, have similar services and features as Go High Level, but they're very industry standard. They've been around for years.
Okay.
And they're very robust. I think Go High Level, though, is relatively new. I believe they just started in 2020, maybe in 2019. So they're relatively new, but it's a platform that's really coming after the Keeps and the Infusionsofts and the ActiveCampaigns, the Entreports of the world, these kind of industry softwares that you might be used to. If you're brand new, it's best case scenario for you to start with High Level. And I understand it's an all-in-one. It makes everything easy, and it has a very competitive price to it. But again, I wouldn't suggest trying to use everything for it long term. There's just going to be other software. So for example, they have a social media scheduling feature on the platform. If you're very serious about your social media, you probably are going to eventually find their current feature not up to your standard of what you need. And at that point, you're going to want to use a software that actually only does social media, which means they're going to have a lot more features. They're going to be more available for you. It's going to be better for you. So it might be a great place to start for some features in High Level, but it may not be the best place to stay there throughout the whole thing.
Okay. So would you consider Monday or HubSpot similar to the all-inclusives, or are they different?
They're similar. I don't recommend HubSpot for the average small business owner. I think it's too complex and too robust to the point where it's hard to use. We've migrated a lot of people out of HubSpot because they're using some things, but the cost ends up not really making sense for them. And it's hard for them to understand how to really use the platform. Monday is not a CRM that I wouldn't try to make it a CRM. It's a project management tool. Okay. It's a good project management tool, but it's not really a CRM. And I wouldn't try to build my business in there as a CRM.
Okay. Excellent. So, one thing that I created and my most recent book is on is what I call the Masterpreneur Playbook framework. And really it outlines, the 5 steps that every business needs to take from startup to scaling, along with the 5 steps of evolution or stages of evolution that you as a business owner need to have to be able to move your business successfully from each level. So here's a quick image of, how it works, working on the concept of your business, working in your business, working on the future and scaling your business. And this outlines sort of what type of role and evolution you need to have to be able to successfully manage through. And I'd say most business owners are stuck between step 2 and step 3, working in their business and working on their business. And, the transition from going from an employee or /supervisor to a manager can be really difficult to do because your role is so much different and the skills you need are so different. Stage 2, it's about communication and finding your market. Stage 3 is really focused on optimizing your business. And I think that's really where you want to take advantage of as much technology as possible. Because, like you said, you have to have a process before you can automate it. And you're still figuring things out while you're working in your business. If people are, when they're getting to that stage, what are some other types of technology people should be taking advantage of?
I think, and really at any stage, you need to be learning how to leverage AI in your company. But specifically, if you're working in your business, you're trying to work on your business, you need to learn and figure out where AI fits, because it does. I will tell you that it does. I know for some people listening to this, you might think, well, I hear about it. I'm supposed to be able to use it. I'm not sure where it fits in, or I don't think it fits in. I'm telling you, it does fit in. It does fit in. You need to figure out where it starts. And maybe you need to start at the clarify stage so you can kind of figure out what you're doing every day and seeing where AI can come into play. But that's going to be the game changer in any business from now, especially over the next about 5 years. We're only in the very beginning stages of really using artificial intelligence in our everyday lives, but you need to be able to use it day to day and be able to leverage it, or else you are just going to be left behind. And that's not a scare tactic. It's not, me trying to be exaggerating. It really is the reality. Like Darren said, AI will only get bigger and better. Andrew, you just said it earlier today. You mentioned how the technology from when you started everything in 2020 to now is so much different. And everything that you wanted, you got, right? In terms of technology, what you needed to help you in your business, you actually got. Well, the way that you got it is because technology is growing faster and faster every single day. And AI is not just using ChatGPT. It's not just using the AI that might be in your emails, the AI that might be on Google, Gemini, or Bing's Copilot. There are a lot of different AI variations. There's ways to use AI for your social media, for your blog articles, to create transcripts from podcast interviews that you do, right? To create the timestamps for the podcast interviews that you do. There are different ways to use it. There's different AI that's never going to be mentioned on the news, but you may hear about it, but it's out there. That's going to be the game changer in any business. You need to know how to use it for your own. And if you service customers and clients, then you also need to figure out where AI could potentially fit in a service offering. Not necessarily as a standalone, you don't have to become an AI expert, but is there a way that you can leverage this for the people that you serve as clients in your own business? Either way, you kind of have to figure that out so you stay competitive. I see Karen says, I don't use AI, but you're learning how to use it. Keep going.
Okay. So where should she go to learn how to use it? What's it? Because there's a million people out there telling you what you should do for your business, but more than half of them don't really know what they're talking about. So
yeah.
How would you recommend she learn about AI?
Fair enough. I will use a small plug. We do have a group on my end where we actually learn everything about AI and automation. If you go on my website, you can actually join that group too. Okay. And right now it's free, and we're actually doing a special for this month for the rest of 2024. But eventually it will be its own private community. And I'm just teaching business owners who know nothing about tech. It's specific to people who know nothing about tech. You're not a techie. You're just a business owner that wants to stay competitive. And you need to kind of have the beginning stages of AI spelled out for you in a way that makes sense for you. That group's actually brand new. I'm glad you asked that question. But yeah, we're learning all about that in that private community. And again, you just go to my website, Khadirah.com. You'll be able to join it right from there.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, so you ask and it delivered. Isn't technology great? So yeah, so definitely. So she scored. So there's I like to think of this as far as what can I do with my business also.
Right.
And coming in, I've utilized a fair amount of things. I've done a lot of it myself, but what can people do themselves? What do people need to get help with? What should people be careful about?
Yeah, great question. If you're in the very beginning stages and you're wanting to know how to get started with the technology, truth be told, you probably are not the best person to choose software in your company. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. We talked about this a little bit earlier, Andrew. We can be very good at one thing, very good at, especially if you just started your business, you're probably very good at what your business does. Everything else, maybe not as good. That's okay. I'm very good at technology. Please don't ask me anything about taxes. I hired somebody for that because I don't want to deal with that. And I know where my capacity to learn is not going to be there. So it's okay. You probably do need to have a consultant come in that can understand your business and provide the recommendations. And I'm not necessarily talking about myself. It could be somebody else. But the reality is you need somebody who can come in and look at what's going on. Now, you can join private communities. You can join Small Business Pro University with Andrew. You can join my private community where we just learn about AI and automation. But you need to be around other people like you who are also trying to learn the same thing and get recommendations. And if they can be in your industry, that's even better. But as long as they're in the same field and they're going in the same direction, you need to be around other people who have been there so you can see what they're doing. Now, I will give this caveat. Every business is different. You can have two consultants. They serve the same type of customers. They sell the same exact services, but how they run their businesses can be different. And therefore, the technology that's needed is going to be different. This is why I really do recommend you speak with somebody who does this for a living that can look at what you have going on and provide real recommendations in what software and technology you actually need versus what you think you need because you saw a commercial for it or you saw an ad for it or it came up in your email and you went ahead and bought it, but you're not really using it. I know somebody listening to this, I kind of hurt, I might have touched a nerve, and it's okay. But you probably do need somebody that can say, hey, you don't need that software. I do that all the time with my clients. I'm doing it right now. I have a migration client that we're working with, another one. And I'm telling them, hey, you didn't need any of this. I don't know why you started here. I don't know why you want this other software, why you want this thing when this tech is going to work for you. Or let's leverage the tech we're already using. We don't need to add on more expenses if we don't need to. So either getting into a community, again, like Small Business Pro or my own AI community, or going one-on-one with a consultant that's going to help to understand where you're at right now and what's going to work for you, not just today. This is really important, especially if you're kind of going on this on your own. We don't, just like you don't pick a house that's only going to work for you next week, you pick a house that you intend to be there for decades, right? So you make sure it's big enough. It has enough rooms. If you know you don't have children now, but you're going to have a few children, you need to know that you have 3 or 4 bedrooms in that home. You think ahead with a house. We have to think ahead with software. We don't want to just think about what's going to help us today. We want to think about what's going to help us and still be useful to us 5 years from now. I don't keep technology and pay for it and continuously use it if I don't think it's actually going to stay with me for 5 years. I have a Go High Level account. I bought it in 2020 because I knew 5 years from now I was still going to use it. That's the only reason I kept it. You do not ever pick software that's just going to help you right now, or we do our best to. Life happens, I understand that. But we must pick something that's going to keep with us. We're going to keep using it. It's going to be valuable to us, and it's going to grow with us. As we grow from stages 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, is that software still going to be helpful? The reason we have to think like that is because if we don't, and we stay in a software package that isn't really helpful to us, number 1, you wasted money. Number 2, you wasted time. And number 3, the longer you stay in something, the harder and longer it takes for you to migrate out of it, and the more expensive it's going to be. You have to pay somebody that's going to migrate all of your assets from one place to another, just like you pay for movers to help you move from one house to another house. If we can save our costs and save our time by thinking ahead with that tech stack, we are much better off for it. And it's going to save you a whole lot of headaches, Andrew.
Okay. Well, you used like a technology vocabulary word, sort of like the SAT vocabulary word. So tech stack. A lot of people are like tech stack, but a lot of people don't know what that means. So what is a tech stack?
Your tech stack is just the software that you use in your business. So if you hear me talk about that, it's just the software that you're using. Maybe it's your CRM, your email sending tool, your SMS tool. It's just the software that you're using.
Okay. So yeah, I just want to clarify that because, a lot of times you hear words or people and they don't want to ask what it is, but they don't really know what it is.
No.
So,
right.
So that's cool. So, I guess you almost have to treat your tech stack or technology like you treat streaming services. They just creep up on you. You got one, and then you got 4, and then you got 10, and you're like, why am I paying for all 10 of these? And which ones do I use, and which ones should I keep? So yeah, you always have to be looking at it because you end up with stuff, and some of it you use, and some of it you may not so much.
Exactly.
One thing that I would say is, you want to pick the right tools, but you also don't want to do nothing. Some people are like, oh, get the right tool and take a year. So even if you don't have the perfect tool, it can still do things for you, and you can still learn things. So, just keep in mind, you want the right tool, but like you said, there's several tools that can do different things for you, and none of them's bad per se. Just some are better than others, or some are more focused on, certain needs than others, I guess you would say. So, so now, one other thing that, I always cringe when people say, oh, I'm getting, they're doing a platform, but they're creating a custom platform rather than going with existing platforms. What are your thoughts on that? And why would you do a custom platform versus going with something existing?
Great question. I have a love-hate relationship with custom platforms. I think most people don't need them. I think 80 to 90% of any small business owner does not need a custom platform. The times where you need a custom platform is if you're in a field or an industry that is so behind that they don't have a solution for you that is out of the box really going to work for you. And you're in a field where you need specialized information, or you're doing something a bit, I don't want to say out of the ordinary, but it just doesn't line up with what's common. Most people aren't in those type of industries though. And I would tell you just, if you're not in some industrial manufacturing type of industry, or anything that complex, you likely don't need something custom. You may want something custom because you feel better using it. Maybe there are security features that you need something for your business. Maybe I can get that. But more than likely, you don't need a custom solution, especially not just starting off. Using a solution that already exists is going to help you. It's going to save time, allow you to execute, and allow you to pivot along the way. And again, if you're not at the enterprise level too, you definitely don't need a custom solution. Again, most people don't. You don't need just like what Darren said. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You may want to because you feel better doing it, or you feel like you're in such a special industry. I'm just gonna be honest. You probably are not. You probably can use the tools, and even if you have to use a few workarounds, maybe you need a Zapier automation here or a different automation there to have your different softwares talk to each other and be able to work together. But that's probably to the extent of what you need. I don't think most people need a custom solution at all.
Yeah, no, definitely. First it's really expensive to build for you, but then you're trapped because only the people who built it can update it, and things need updating. The other platforms, they're updated automatically. If you need to edit or change something, it just traps you in a way you don't really want to be trapped with technology. But it sounds great when they're selling it to you, offering, you could have something that's perfect. But, the way the online platforms are, you can really customize a lot of them in many different ways. So,
definitely.
So, yeah. So, the most challenging part of this show is keeping it to an hour, because we're knocking up on the hour, and it feels like we're just getting started. So
it does.
There's so much out there, but hopefully at least this opens your eyes and gives you some perspective. And like Khadirah said, she has training. My university does training. Jimmy Newsom's a guest on here, and he does training through Moving Forward Small Business. Karen, you mentioned SCORE. I would say that might not be the best place to go for technology and modern, cutting edge stuff. Because a lot of times by the time it gets to a school or large organizations, it's already old. So I might look at a different way to do it than through there. But see what they have. I could be wrong, but and they do have a lot of good stuff. But I would say that wouldn't be my first choice or even my 10th choice of where to go to learn how to learn AI or technology. So, but before we go, I think that it's important to really wrap things up in a good way. So Khadirah, I'm going to ask you to share 3 key takeaways from our conversation tonight, because most people can't remember more than 3 things anyway. So, what are 3 things they should make sure that they took away from tonight and can really put to work or utilize starting tomorrow within their business? So I'm going to give you a minute to think about that. And during the time, I'm going to play a short video about, an offer that I have available that you may be interested in. Ever wonder why some businesses succeed while other ones flounder or just plain fail? It's all about having a solid game plan, knowing what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, because your business can only go as far as you're prepared to take. How can you acquire the knowledge, the skills, and perspective that you need to succeed? What if you could learn the secret sauce in a matter of hours from the comfort of your own home or office? Now you can. I'm Andrew Frazier. I've written a series of books outlining my proven proprietary Masterpreneur Playbook framework that has helped more than 1,000 business owners to succeed. By reading the handbook and completing the workbook exercises chapter by chapter, you will actively learn how to become more effective at sales, marketing, financial management, operations, and more. Then, the playbook will guide you through the critical stages of business development and personal evolution necessary to work on your business and scale it successfully. As a result, you'll create a sustainable business that can run successfully without you. Here's what others are saying about my methods.
Andrew's books are outstanding. They're easy to read. They're interesting to read, and they will take you every step of the way from startup to scaling if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to put in the time.
Good practical information that is good for both entrepreneurs or budding entrepreneurs. Andrew breaks it down in a very understandable way.
He's been helping me with my financials, making sure everything's together, what's working versus what's not working in my business, so that I'm working on my business and not in my business, period.
If you want to work on your business and scale successfully, you need my Masterpreneur combo, the handbook, the workbook, and the playbook. Act now to take advantage of a special offer for my Masterpreneur combo and save over 25%. I'll also sign and ship all 3 books for free. This is a limited time offer that can only be accessed using the direct link below. www.sbprou.com/combo. Get your Masterpreneur combo today. Once again, that's www.sbprou.com/combo. Okay, welcome back. I'm here with Khadirah Muhammad, and we're talking small business. The topic tonight is really about scaling your business by using systems, technology, and automation. We covered a lot of great stuff tonight, but Khadirah is going to break it down into 3 key things that you should take away from our discussion.
Yeah. So the first key I'll tell you is, before we touch on different technology to use in our business, we need to understand where we're starting from. So asking yourself, what are you doing every single day? What activities are you getting done in your business is going to help you clarify, which is the first C in my 4C formula. Clarify where you're at, so that way we know how we're going to use technology to get to where we want to go. Okay. The second thing I will tell you is, you need all the software that you will ever use in your business, the number one tool you need is a CRM. That's a customer relationship management system. I don't care what business you have, you need a CRM in your business, especially if you're a service-based business owner. And the third key I would tell you is you need to be learning how to leverage AI in your business. You can use it. If you've been wondering how, you've been wondering if you can use it, if it's relevant for you, it is relevant for you. And if you want to know how to do that, you definitely got to just check out my website and be able to join the inner community and be able to learn how to use AI in your business. But either way, you need to be able to use it.
Excellent. Excellent. So, clarify, understand what you're doing. Have a CRM. I always say that sales and marketing is your most important job as a business owner, and the CRM is really your most important tool to be able to do that more effectively. And then leveraging AI. There's a lot of great AI things, and I think one of the reasons why AI makes such a big difference is it's incorporated into so many things that we use. A lot of other stuff comes out and you have to go do something different. But, in your email program, there's probably AI enhancement, in Canva, in a lot of things. So you can see and touch AI a lot easier, and don't be afraid of it. Definitely it's not going anywhere. And, another point Darren made is YouTube is also a great source for finding information and gaining knowledge. So, when you're looking at things, there's a lot of different ways to go. So, definitely those are some things to consider. Definitely appreciate you coming and hanging out with me tonight, Khadirah. Just in case you want to connect, here's your LinkedIn profile and also the website. So it's in the chat. So anyone who wants to find Khadirah, there you have it. Before we close out, Khadirah, anything else you want to share?
I think we covered everything. Andrew, I want to thank you for allowing me on the platform. I had an amazing time. An hour definitely does go by very, very fast. And I think your audience learned a lot of good information. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody uses tech and especially AI in their business so we can scale and thrive in 2025.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know people got value out of it. I did as well. So, keep doing what you're doing, and just hang out in a minute while I close things out. So, once again, always appreciate your comments and, join in every Tuesday night. If you're not joining live, definitely, I'm sure you got a lot out of it as well. So, we had a great guest, a great topic, and I think this can be helpful for a lot of people. Of course, each week we have, great topics and great guests. So just a preview of next week, we're going to talk about overcoming challenges to achieve breakthrough success. Every business owner knows that there's a lot of challenges in creating a successful business. But that's one of the things that makes it great and exciting about being a business owner. So definitely, but being able to overcome these challenges is key. So we're going to talk about strategies for being able to do that more successfully. So hopefully you can join us next week as well. And really looking forward to these last few weeks of the year, and hopefully you're getting in the holiday spirit. I know there's a lot of holiday events, usually great networking opportunities, so take advantage of those. And at the end of the day, the more that you know, the faster and more successfully your business is going to grow.
Thank you for listening to Leadership Live at 8:05, Talking Small Business. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Leadership Live is one of the many valuable resources provided through the Small Business Pro University, empowering business owners to learn, profit, and grow. Find out more at sbpro.u.com.